many times have you been out grilling or stepped outside to do something and forgot to close the door all the way, or just about the time that you thought you had shut it, a fly, a mosquito or something got into your house? Well, the same thing happens as it relates to thoughts and feelings with your mind. In this episode, I want to talk to you about shutting the door. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to another episode. I am Dr. A. Reginald Littman. I am a pastor, counselor, certified anger management specialist, and an author. I'm excited to have you with me today. And if this is your first time to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. This channel is all about helping you to discover your destiny and to be a better person, that person that you were created to be. So if you find any value from this video, I'd love for you again to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and give it a thumbs up. Well, in this episode, I want to talk to you about shutting some doors. Now, I guess I should warn you that this content is not for people with puny and weak self-esteem. And here's what I mean. Because I'm going to challenge you as a life coach. I'm going to challenge you to shut the door on some things that are not working in your life. So here we go. You've been out barbecuing, or you've come in and out of your front door, back door, what have you, only to discover that a fly, a mosquito, or some kind of bug came into your house along with you. Now think about that analogy for a moment, because in every case, rarely are we aware that this insect has entered our premises immediately. It's normally after the fact that we'll see it flying around, or we'll hear it buzzing in the atmosphere, and before we know it, our whole day can be ruined. Our meal can be ruined, our cookout can be ruined, all because we did not shut the door. Now think about this for a minute. So often in our lives, thoughts enter our lives, enter our minds the same way. People enter our mind and our lives, and even our hearts, the same way. And before we know that they have gotten in, they have spoiled the day for us. How many times have you been in a relationship or friendship with someone who you later discovered that you thought they looked like a butterfly, but you later discovered they were just a fly without the butter? I know I've had that experience a number of times in my life. I can't forget a few years back when I thought I had a really good friend that I could trust, that I could confide in, that had my best interest at heart. And even though everybody warned me, this person is no good, this person does not fit your caliber of life, you need to ditch this person out of your immediate circle, the grace in me wanted to give that individual a chance and wanted to try to see the best. And I think that's a good quality for us to have. All at the same time, when the butter leaves the butterfly and you discover that you're left with just a fly, it is irritating, it is agitating, it's painful, it is difficult. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions, like I did in that situation. When I discovered the fly in the individual and that there was no more butter left, and the potential in that individual was not what I thought it was or anticipated it could be, I had to wise up and I had to make a tough decision. I had to shut the door on that relationship, discontinue that friendship, discontinue, because it wasn't what I thought it was, and it never was what I thought it was. The reason why I want to do this video today is because I want you to know that there are times that it is appropriate to end communication, to end connection, to end relationships. Now, wait a minute. Let me put this disclaimer out there. If you're married to somebody, this is not telling you you should go get a divorce. That's not the kind of video this is. What you should do is get some help, seek some counseling, and I'd be happy to help you with that as a counselor. I want to say that there are times that you need to be willing and gutsy enough to shut the door. And let me tell you why it's important to shut doors sometime. It's because when you understand your value and when you recognize that other people are undervaluing your true value, if they show no signs of respect for who you are, for what you bring to the table, it might be time to shut the door. Here's another scenario. And again, this is a tough video right here. I hope you're still with me. Here's another scenario. When you give all you have to people who only take, and never give, friends, that might be an indication that the butter is off the butterfly and all you're left with is fly, and it's time to shut the door. Why is that important? It's important to close doors when people are no longer of benefit to your life. Now, please hear me good. I'm not talking about when people don't have money anymore to give to you, nothing of that sort. I'm not talking about when a person loses a job, loses a home, and they can no longer share their wealth with you. That's being a user. I'm not talking about being a gold digger, being a user. I'm talking about that we have to understand that sometimes people are like fruit. Check this out. Sometimes people are like fruit. Here's what I mean. In its season, fruit is beneficial, it is tasty, it is healthy for you, it is amazing, it puts all kinds of oxidants and vitamins into your body, giving you life, giving you advantage, giving you strength. But fruit beyond its season of usability and shelf life is the opposite. It tastes horrible, it goes bad, it smells bad, it has no use whatsoever. And the only place it needs to be is in the garbage. And there are people in this world who pose as good apples, but when you turn them around, you'll discover that they are brown through and through. And you've got to be able to recognize those people, and you've got to be able to shut the door. So how do you end relationships? That's a tough question, but I'm glad you asked because I want to help you with that. Number one, you have to recognize your own value, and you have to be able to articulate your feelings to other people. One of the things that I teach others is how to be assertive, and I'm going to do more videos on that. But in my coaching, I teach other people how to be assertive. Being assertive is different from being aggressive. For being aggressive means that you are a lion, you're a bear, you're a growling dog. But being assertive, you can be quiet, but make your feelings, your preferences, and even your demands known without ever raising your voice. And so when it's time to end a bad relationship, and I'm talking about, again, friendships or whatever the case may be, number one, you have to practice being assertive. You want to use words that focus on you and not on them. You want to avoid words like you always, you never. When you do that, it's aggression, and you're focusing your energy on them and what they do or don't do. And you may be saying, well, what's wrong with that? It's very simple. When you focus on them, they have the power over you. But when you focus on I or yourself, on me, then I have the authority over my feelings in that situation. So being assertive means that you use I words. I feel, I need, I perceive, I am feeling this kind of way. And it's important to talk about your feelings, secondly. Being assertive means that you don't allow people to step on you and run over you, yet at the same time, you make your feelings known. Do you know that when you are assertive and you express yourself and make your feelings known, you can avoid so much anger. You can avoid so much escalation of attitudes, emotions. You see, when you get angry, your heart starts to pump blood to the wrong places. It leaves your prefrontal cortex, which is the executive functioning of your brain, and it pumps that blood to your hands, to your muscles. That's why you tense up when you get angry. That's why your fists clench. That's why your teeth may clench. It's because blood is going to the wrong place. And so you got to learn how to shut doors so that people don't have control over you. Now, we often make the mistake of saying, he, she, or you make me sick. Guess what? Whatever you say is what you'll have. Because when you're upset with people and when you get angry with people, when you get around them or think of them, guess what happens? Your stomach gets queasy. You may get a headache. You may feel nauseous. Why? Because that unexpressed emotion and that unpracticed assertion is causing blood in your body to go to your stomach and away from your brain, from the executive functioning of your frontal cortex. So it is so important to close doors, to be assertive, to speak about your feelings. Lastly, to close doors, understand that your value is not tied to anybody. Let me say that one again. Your value is not tied to anybody. There's a song that I used to like to listen to. I think it's something like this: I can do bad all by myself. And let me tell you something. Not only can you do bad all by yourself, but you can do good all by yourself. You got to know who you are. You got to stand firm on what you believe. And you got to be willing to shut some doors. Hey, thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you got something out of this video. Hit like, thumbs up, and leave a comment. Look forward to sharing with you in the next episode.